What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing today? It's Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. It's our Dig Deeper Wednesday live show. I feel like I should have a Superman shirt on. Superman. Dig Deeper Wednesday. That's what it's about. What are we doing on Wednesday? We are digging deeper into making big moves. Making some big moves in your business. Making some big moves in life. That's what we're talking about today. Hey, you know how it goes. I want to hear from you guys. Say hi to me. Tell me what's going on. Oh, let me take that down some. I want to hear from you. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what you're doing. We're going to talk today about making big moves. I hope you guys got to see the show yesterday. That was a pretty powerful show. It was all about a $100,000 mistake I made, and we had massive amounts of people on that. Over 3,000 people watched it, and we had like crazy amount of shares. I mean, I was shocked at how many shares we had. So obviously that resonated with a lot of you. So I'm happy that we did that. I really am, because when you guys are sharing my message, it makes me realize how much more I need to be doing this and how I need to keep on creating this content and keep on building the community that we're building and helping you guys. That's what I love about it. So come on in, guys. Tell me where you're from. Tell me who you are. Tell me if it's your first time on here. I'd love to hear from you, get to know you, get to meet you. If you are just joining me for the first time, then let me kind of give you an idea of what we do here. Well, first off, my name is Zack Childress, and I am your real estate coach. That's the fact, Jack. So what do we do? Well, we help you guys. As an active real estate investor, doing deals from residential to commercial, I'm just coming on here to help you guys get to your first deal, or even help you get to that next deal, or help you create more systems and processes in your business to help you grow your business. And so what do? Well, we do this twice a week. We come to you every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern time zone. Which is our real estate investing talk show. We also put that out on our Blog Talk Radio, our podcast, our YouTube. It's all there on Tuesdays. It's all about real estate. And Wednesdays, we do our Dig Deeper show. And Dig Deeper is a lot of things. It could be dig deeper personally, dig deeper into your business. It could be dig deeper into an expert, dig deeper into a deal. It's all about you guys and how do we get you moving faster, forward, quicker. Moving forward faster and quicker. That's probably the better way to say it. So come on board, say hi, tell me where you're from. I'd like to hear about you. I'd like to hear about what you're doing. I'd like to hear about any questions you might have. I hope some of you took me up on my cyber special I did yesterday. That was a pretty cool little thing I did. I don't normally do, but I did it for you. I did it for you. So listen, if you're joining me and you're wondering who's in the background helping with the questions in Facebook, that is the lovely Jill. Jill, say hi to everybody.
Hello.
So everybody say hi to Jill. Get to know what we're doing.
Stephanie and Brian that we were talking about earlier this morning,
yes,
they are on here. She says good afternoon.
Awesome. Good afternoon, Stephanie. That's good stuff. Who else we got on here? RJ, Vincent, Robin. It's good stuff, man. Is that Rob on here?
No. It was me in a different browser.
Hey, come on board. Come on in. I got some cool stuff to show you today. We're going to talk about making big moves. And I'm actually going to talk to you guys about a big move I made that took a while to get into work. And I'm happy that it's done and that we're moving forward with it. And you guys get to benefit from it. So I'm going to walk you down that. My content producer put together an amazing video reel that you guys can watch about a trip I took and shaking hands with some big players. And it has a lot to do with you getting out of your way and taking some action. So we're going to dig into that today, and we're going to talk about making big moves and why most people don't make big moves, or what's the mindset that stops people. So we're going to talk about that. So come on board, guys. Come on board, come on board. Let's hear you. Let's hear where you're from. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me where you are in your real estate business or in business in general. I'd love to answer some questions today. So if you've got some good questions, type them out. Let me know what you got going on, because the show today is all about making big moves. And we're going to talk about what stops you from making big moves. And what does it take to make big moves? That's really our point today. What is it in life that holds you back from making big moves? And sometimes it's the stories you tell yourself. And so we're gonna talk about that. But I want you guys to get on board. Come on, come on, come on. So we're gonna rock and roll. So hey, today's live stream probably won't be an hour, but I think we'll probably be here for 30 or 40 minutes. So what does Mike Sellers say?
He says, if Carly is watching, I know it's something to pay attention to for great information.
Well, Carly doesn't just watch. She gets to be in the office watching it live all day. So we had a great meeting today with some of our student advisors and talking about some of the stuff that we do and how we help people and what is our real intent here, and our intent is to help as many people as we can that will receive the help and actually do the help, right? And that's a big part of our mission. And if you guys have been watching me, one of the things that I'm always saying is I want to help more people this year than I did last year, and I want to help more people next year than I did this year. And I only can achieve that goal by constantly coming to you guys, sharing good information, sharing strategies, and you sharing the message too. The more ripples we create, the more lives we change. So that is the power of why we do our shows. So it is to keep creating messages, to keep creating the value for you to grow your business. And we were also in a little meeting with some of our coaches. And our coaches are people that have been trained by me to help our students. And we're just on the phone with them, checking in, see how they're doing, how the students are doing, hearing all the testimonials that are coming from our success, from our training with our students and coaching. And that really just empowers me. It makes me realize like how many more people we're helping on a deeper one-on-one level. And I really enjoyed listening into that call. And because here's why. It's one thing when the students are excited. It's another thing when you hand them off and now they're working directly one-on-one with a coach, and then I get to have be in on those calls where we're talking to all of our coaches and hearing the students they're working with and the success that those students are having from our coaches, helping them get their deals done, moving them right into making phone calls and finding deals. Like, that's an empowering process to know that someone found us on Facebook like this and listened to our message, got my book, My First Deal Playbook, and read that book and said, you know what, this is where I want to go. But they were conscious enough to realize they needed some type of one-on-one support. And so they engaged in that and hired our company to help them. And then I get to hear the stories from the coaches that are working with those students and how they're actually taking the action. They're doing the work. They're applying the information, and now they're in their first deal or their second deal or their 10th deal. That makes me happy, right? Amazing. What makes me sad is when I hear our coaches talking about they're having to chase a student down. They're having to call them and call them and call them to get them on the phone. That makes me sad, because what it makes me realize is that, this is somebody that wanted to change their life. They were willing to invest in themselves, and we're willing to commit to that and work with them, but they have so much going on in their life that they are allowing their life issues and challenges to take back control over their outcome, their circumstances. They've stopped trying to make big moves. They've allowed the life, as I say, the fog of life to roll in on them, and it prevents them from taking the action and being on those phone calls. And here we have coaches that are dedicated to their success, and they're going after them, and they're saying, "Hey, get on the phone, call me back." And the student just allows the life circumstances to prevent them from putting the time in to grow their business. That makes me sad. And it's like, I wish everybody could keep that same fire and that same energy when they came in and said, "This is what I want to do." But I understand, like, life is going to get in your way. That's why you always got to be thinking, what's my next move, and what's the big moves I'm making? Big moves is moves that alter the destiny in your current situation. That could be personal training, that could be real estate, that could be cutting people out of your life, that could be new relationships. What are those big moves you're making? So
Talon is here, so he says hello, and he says, "I want to know the deals we submit if we have to have them under contract first."
Yes, it's not a deal if you don't have it under contract, Talon. It's just a lead. Anybody can snatch a lead. You need to have it under contract. So, Toby is in the house. What do you say, Toby?
Ariana is here. She says hello.
Ariana. I just love that name.
I know, it's so pretty.
Ariana.
It's very feminine.
It's just a name you won't ever forget. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Ariana. Love
Steve is here as well.
Steve, welcome to the show.
Vincent is here.
Vincent, welcome to the show today. Today's a great show. It's about making big moves, guys. Hey, listen, if you're just joining me, my name's Zack Childress. I am your real estate investing coach. Welcome to the show. To say hi to me, tell me where you're from. Join us. We have a big show today. It's all about making big moves. My content producer put something together about a big move we've been making in our business and how what we did to go down and make this move and to secure this relationship and why that's important for you. And we're going to talk about that, and then what your next big move needs to be. We're also going to talk about what's stopping you from making big moves and what it takes to make big moves. We're going to talk about that today, and it's important that you're here. It's important that you say hi to me. It's important that you share with me what's on your mind. I want to know you.
So I have to give a shout out to Kenny. I haven't heard from Kenny in over a year, and wow, he is on here. So shout out to him for getting back into it. Ariana, she says thank you. Chris says I need to make the moves.
Chris, you're making moves already. You're on the show. Remember, I've been talking about this over the last several months, is that you also got to remember to reward yourself for the small wins. Okay, the small wins are important, because if all you think about is the big moves and the big wins, then you fail to give yourself credit for the small wins. That's like being consistent in your training, being on these shows consistently, learning. Here's the reality, okay? For those of you that don't know me, or this is your first time on the show, I wouldn't have the community that we have. Like yesterday's show, it's probably our Tuesday shows are our most watched show. It's Real Estate Investing Talk. We wouldn't have 3,000 views within an hour and have 80-something shares and 300 comments from our community if we weren't putting down the great information that we do. So you're making moves right now. You're being part of something that's helping you grow. So Chris, reward yourself for the small wins, but always remember, you got to keep thinking, what's my next move? What's the big moves I'm working on?
Toby says, hi, Kenny, you came back home. Kenny said, laugh out loud. Shout out to you as well.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
We met Kenny back in Nashville.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So guys, if you're brand new, don't be shy. Tell me it's your first time on here. Tell me, or you might have watched it yesterday and you're back today. I'd like to get to know you. I'd like to know where you're from, where we got people coming in all over the place. So
Vincent, he says, wow, I never give myself much credit for the small wins.
you got to, Vincent. You got to. Small wins are what get you to the big wins. Listen, a lot of people grow up in life where they're never even patted on the back or said good job because they've got somebody always pointing out what they didn't do. So when you're raised or you're in an environment where somebody's constantly just telling you what you didn't do right or what you didn't do, the problem with that is that you don't start to recognize the small wins, the small successes, because you're constantly thinking, well, I'm not doing anything right. I got to get better. This is the demise of relationships. It's the demise of marriages. It's the demise of friendships. It's the demise of work environment. Because why? We're always feel like we're not playing at the level that's expected from us. But it's the small wins that make us realize, hey, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. So
Mike says he's new and he is from Clearwater, Florida.
Mike, welcome to the show. Everybody give Mike a big shout out. First time here. Let's welcome him.
Chris says, I never give myself the credit either. Daryl wrote his name. Daryl, I'm assuming he's new as well.
Well, no, I've seen Daryl's name before.
He might have been on Daryl. Might have been on yesterday, maybe.
Maybe.
Mike says, thanks. Toby says, hi to all the new people.
Way to go, Toby. Way to go, Toby. Toby, you got your first Inner Circle coaching call next week. I hope you're excited about that, Toby. All right, well, listen, I'm going to do this. I want to get you guys rocking and rolling. I've got a really cool video I want to play you. It's about making big moves. So let me explain what happened. So we've been growing our business, real estate investing, and our education company. And our education company has absolutely been on fire. Like, it's amazing how many people have been coming to us. They're leaving other companies to come to us to learn from us. They're finding us brand new to work with us. They're finding my book. They're getting the book. They're coming to us wanting to work with us. And I'm blessed. I'm extremely, extremely blessed that so many of you hear the message that I'm trying to put out and that you gravitate towards me and you understand, like, I'm not just a guy on the TV, talking real estate. I'm a guy that's out in the market doing it too. I'm the president of my local real estate investors association. I give back to my community. I'm investing in apartments, single families, commercial. We're in it. We do it every day. And so I'm just blessed that you guys can see that and that you stay with me and you learn from me and you've been part of the show for as long as you have. But I also know, as a business owner, what's my next move? What's my next big move? Like, what am I going to do to keep bringing great value to you guys? And what relationships can I create that are so strong that they do nothing but propel you as my students forward? You're like, what's the information that I could get out of someone else to bring to you to help you gain in your growth process? Well, we thought about it, and we've been working on it for quite some time. I mean, I met this guy like 6 years ago. I flew down, went into his studio. While I was down there, he's one of the creators of infomercials, and he's done, just the amount of people he's helped become successful is extraordinary. But while I was down there, they were trying to get me to do an infomercial, and I just wasn't into all that stuff back then, and nor am I into it now. But 50 Cent was at the studio fixing to film some footage. Hulk Hogan was in the studio about to film a footage show for an infomercial, and I got to meet and rub elbows. And I always said back then, I was like, man, this is somebody I need to be connecting with on a much deeper level. Then all of a sudden, this was years and years ago before the hit show came out, Shark Tank. And then it came out, and there he was on Shark Tank. And I thought, man, I missed my opportunity with him because now he's national. Everybody knows him. He's on TV. He's an original Shark Tank. And but I kept my relationships there to, I could keep that connection going. And I always thought about, well, this year we thought, man, what would be a better move for us than to team up with somebody that's produced $400 million in his net worth. $400 million in his net worth to be able to team up with to bring value to our students. To be able to say, look, here's how I was able to create this. Here's how I was able to do my investing. And here's why you should be doing this too. It's great to learn from me. And listen, I'm nowhere close to a $500 million net worth. But I always say, if you're going to grow your business, team up with somebody that has been where you are and is going where you want to go. That's who you need to be teaming up with. And I understand that as well. I need to be associating with people at big levels, at big moves that are where I want to go, right? And that is what happened recently. We finally got all the commitment and we got all the yeses that we needed. And to make it, to make the ink hit the paper, I had to jump on a flight and I had to head down to the one and only Kevin Harrington, which is the original shark from Shark Tank. So watch this short clip here for you real quick on that journey. What we're doing. We're making big moves. Yes, we are down here about to meet up with Kevin Harrington from the original shark from Shark Tank, because it's all about your network, right? You gotta be playing at the best level to get to the best people to grow your business to the next level. So who are you playing with? Who are you associating with? You gotta find the people that have been where you are and are going where you wanna go. For us, it was jumping on a plane, coming to Tampa, spending the day with Kevin Harrington, and seeing where we're going to take the business. Rubbing elbows with sharks. So the question I want you to think about is, what do you want out of life? And are you getting it right now? Or are you moving towards a direction to get it? Because at the end, you got to think about how quickly you want to be there and who's helping you get there. So it's all about networking. It's all about who you associate with. And sometimes that requires you jumping on a plane, flying to Tampa, having a meeting with a power individual. Because why? Most people won't do it. They're too lazy. They think about expenses. No. It's about the connection. It's about the process. It's about who and where and when you're going to make that connection. And sometimes it requires you to get out of your comfort zone and take some action. What do you think about that, guys? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Listen, I want to ask you this. If you watch the video, what's the one thing that stood out in my little thought process while I was going down there? Tell me one thing that stood out. Tell me one thing that stood out during that footage. I want to know. I wrote a bunch of notes on a video that I actually was part of, but tell me one thing. Tell me one thing that stood out. One thing that stood out for you watching that video. One thing. Give it to me, guys. One thing, because it's all about making big moves. And what's your next move, right? We're going to talk about that. What's the one thing that stood out? One thing during you listening. You took initiative. Kenny, great job, man. I did take initiative, right? Listen, a guy that plays at that level ain't coming to me. I'll tell you that right now. Most of the people that you want to associate with at that high, they're not coming to you. What do you got to do? You got to go get it. You got to go get it. No one's going to give it to you. You got to get and go and make it happen. You know, I hear so many times people calling in our office saying, man, I'd love to get this training. I'd love to spend 3 days with Zack, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to get in your car and go, man. Show up at a 3-day event. It's life-changing. I'm not going to just jump on a plane and fly around to every little city in the U.S. to talk to all you one-on-one. I got to put on an event where you can come to me. You got to come to me, right? So what else do we say?
So we have Robert says you made it.
I made it happen.
Steve, he says you moved out of your comfort zone.
Boom, Steve. Boom! You got that one. Big job. Good job.
Chris said you got it. Chris also said you have to step out of your comfort zone.
Good job, Chris.
And Vincent said you're doing something that most people want to do. Toby said, huge, getting out of your comfort zone is going to take some action.
That's right.
Matt said, keeping relationships is right.
For the right time in the future.
Yes, thank you. Rudy said, new move, you're paying the price. John says you followed up.
John, listen. I want to talk about John and Matthew's answer. Follow up, right? I'm a follow up king, man. I'm a follow up. But Matthew, to touch on yours, yes, I may not have known what I was going to do with that relationship right now, but I knew that I was going to use that relationship in the future. When, how, and where, I wasn't quite sure yet. But I always kept that relationship strong by what John said, the follow up.
Mike said, doing what it takes to get where you want to be. Oh, yeah, I have been on that Tampa approach many times. Toby says, I'm taking action. I know why.
That's it, guys. It's about those moves. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes we have to let go of the past, because some of you might have been saying, yeah, but I've done this before. I did this a year ago. I bought this a year ago. I did this. Guys, stop thinking about that. Stop thinking about that. Start thinking about the now and the future. You're here now. Everything you did led you to this point to make big moves. What's your next big move is what you have to think about, right? I can tell you what your next big move needs to be, and I'm going to tell you right now, your next big move needs to be at my event coming up in Los Angeles, and it's California, Los Angeles, February 9th through the 11th. You need to be there. It's a 3-day event, and I am teaming up with the one and the only, the original Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, who's going to be at this event with me. He's going to be there on stage Saturday teaching you and sharing with you how he created all this wealth and why we've partnered together to do these trainings for you guys. And he's also written the book to put a shark in your tank, which is what I did. And he's got a great book out called Act Now. If you want to do some research on the guy, he's phenomenal at what he's created and the people he's helped to success. But you've got to be in California, Los Angeles, February 9th through the 11th. You've got to get registered for that, okay? That's the big move you need to be making. That's the first big move you need to be making, is getting out of your comfort zone, coming and learning right now in February. We're starting the year off to make huge moves in your life, and to be there with me and in the presence of a $400 million net worth man that's helped create more millionaires when it comes to marketing and multiple streams of income, the original OG of the Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. You need to be there, guys. I mean, I've looked up to this guy for years, and then seeing him on TV, and then knowing that I had actually rubbed elbows with him before, and now I'm in a venture with him for all of next year for my events. This is game changer. You need to do that. You can go. You can call the office right now to get your tickets. We're only opening the doors for general admission right now. It's $97 seat deposit. You get it back after 3 days. All you do is call the office and say, hey, I went all 3 days. I want my $97 back. 707-247-4248. Get your registration. This event will sell out. You can ask Jill. You can ask anybody in this office. We sell out of these events every single time. I haven't even opened the VIP Golds or the VIP Silvers, because why? It's too early. And so if you're trying to hold back, if you're saying, well, look, I have heard how powerful these VIP Golds are, I'm going to wait for one. No, 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 no. Go ahead, call in, get your general admission seat ticket locked in, and then when the Golds come available, whoever you talk to, tell them, say, look, I'm locking my general admission in. When Zach opens up Golds and Silvers, call me back that day so I can upgrade. That is your next big move, guys. That is the move you need to be making right now. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be blown away at the quality. Not only am I going to be there helping you, but two of my partners that I've helped create $1 million companies with me are going to be there, Ian Flanagan and Andrew Williams. Plus, we're going to have the Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank there, and my team's going to be there. You do not You do not want to miss this event in February. It is starting the year off with a huge bang for you guys. It's creating the momentum that you need to get in this game fresh out the gate and ready to rock and roll. February is your big move day. It is the day you make big moves, is February. You need to lock that in, okay?
So Toby says, luckily I don't have any problems money won't solve.
Ah, good one.
Jamal, he's on here.
Jamal! What's happening, Jamal? That's awesome. Good to have Jamal on here. Jamal, we're making big moves around here, buddy. I'm sorry I couldn't connect with you the other day when you came in the office. I was in the middle of a meeting, so we just need to get you on the calendar so I can say hi to you.
Yeah, he could call me.
You could call Jill. Elena's on here.
Is she on here?
I see Elena on here.
I don't...
She watching.
Jay is on here.
Good job.
I don't see Elena on there.
I saw
That's
her.
awesome.
I'm friends with her. It shows me she popped on.
Oh.
Hey, so listen, what do you need to do, guys? Tell me what you need to do right now to make big moves. I want to hear it. And then I'm going to cut through some of the skinny with you. So tell me what you need to be doing right now to make big moves. What is it you need to be doing to make big moves? He sold that house in Athens. That is awesome, Jamal. I was wondering how you was going to get out of that one, man.
I'm excited to hear what people are going to do to make their big move.
Take action, Jamal says. Well, taking action's great, but what are you going to do to make big moves? What are you going to do to make big moves? Come on, people. Talk to me today.
Oh, yeah, pour it on. That's awesome sauce.
Pour it on me today.
Toby said, yes, Jamal, you can call Jill. I call her every day.
That's funny. All right, big moves, guys. What are you going to do to make big moves? Let me help you with something. What stops people from making big moves? What stops you from making big moves in your business? The very first thing you have to acknowledge is it's your belief in your performance.
Jay said, get Jared to make phone calls.
Tell him, Jay. Put him on this show. So what stops you from making big moves? The first thing is the belief that you can actually follow through with that big move. A lot of people don't make big moves because they don't think they can actually perform. They think their performance is not at the level of the big move. And let me explain something to you. There's some fear in it, right? There's absolutely some fear in big moves because what if you line everything up, you get everything ready to go, and then you can't perform? You can't make it happen. Well, then that's like a letdown for you. But that's a mindset thing. You've got to acknowledge the first step for you to make big moves is you've got to believe that you can actually fulfill the process to get that big move to the table. And big moves could be all kinds of things, right? Big moves could be like what I did, teaming up with a venture next year with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. That's a big move, man. That's a big move, right? And I didn't have to give up any of my company to do that. You know how they are on the Shark Tank show. So big moves could be what you're going to do to grow your business. What's the big move you're going to make? What's the big commitment? I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to find $4,000 a month to deploy in marketing. That's a big move. Another big move, you're going to step out of your comfort zone and actually get the training that you need. Where does that happen? That would be coming out to an event with me. You could ask anybody on this thread right now that's been to one of my events. You could just put the question in, should I go to Zach's event? Just type that in. If you're new and you're trying to figure out, like, what is this guy? Like, what's he talking about? Like, what does he do? Just ask in the thread. Just put it out there. Just ask the question. Don't let me answer it. Let the community answer it. Let them answer your questions for you, right? Because I could tell you everything and every reason you should be there. But the reality is if you don't know me, you don't trust me. I mean, that's reality. You don't trust me yet. You will as you get to know me and you spend more time with me and you stay on these shows with me and realize I'm bringing the bombs, man. I'm dropping the bombs. That's right. Let's do another one. I'm dropping the bombs on these shows, and you got to be part of that, okay?
So Matt, he says he's going to change his habits. Toby, she says dial for dollars. Got to hit the phones now. Vincent is making 20 calls a day.
Good job, Vincent.
Chris says, I've been talking to Joseph from your team.
Way to go, Chris. Joseph's a strong advisor here, man. That guy's he's got the understanding of what we're trying to do with students clear, and he's able to help you guys see that.
So then we have Toby. She says, I need to wholesale deals to get me to the flips.
That's right.
Stephanie says, making calls is something I have a hard time with.
And you will, Stephanie, until you keep making them. You understand? It's a habit you have to create. It's something that you just, because here's the reality to making calls. Everybody's scared of them until you start doing them. You know, the first dozen, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. But what you're going to find out is that all the calls are kind of the same. You know, it's all people trying to sell a piece of property. They just have different scenarios that they're in, which means you have to figure out what's going to be the best approach. But it becomes systematic. So you just have to keep dialing.
Vincent says I need to get my LLC started.
Maybe. It just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you're just trying to get out there and get some deals done, you don't have to get an LLC started. You could just start. But if you're going to be doing massive amounts of business right out the gate, then yeah, get your LLC started. But if you're not, and you're just trying to get your feet wet and start doing your phone calls and start making, understanding your market and doing the research, don't let your LLC hold you back, man. Like, that's just an excuse. Like, start doing the research. Start doing the calls. Start getting on the phone with people. Toby
said, oh, Vincent, that's right. John says, I have a wholesaler who offered me a package of 46 properties in Memphis, Tennessee. He said I can bring a buyer in, but he wants proof of funds before he will give me any info on the properties. How do you suggest I proceed?
If you're not the buyer and you're trying to wholesale it, the first thing you got to figure out is more information about the properties. I mean, if you brought a package of 46 houses to me, would I be interested? Of course I would be interested. But I want to know. I want to know, what is each house selling for? Are they currently rented? Are they vacant? Do they need work? How long have the tenants been in them? Are there leases? Is it month-to-month leases? What's the total package sale price? Can you buy them as one package, or can you buy multiple packages out of that package? There's a lot more information. If you're going to play in the package game, you got to dig for more information.
Steve, he says, absolutely go. You'll get more information in 3 days than a year from someone else.
Boom, Steve. Love you, man. Love you, man.
Toby says, you're going to feel like a telemarketer at first until you get the first check.
That's so true.
Steve said, make more calls and do research.
That's right, Steve. You got it, man. You got it. You got it. Just get in the game. That's what it is. Get in the game, and if you're getting stuck, you need a coach. That's the problem with most people, is they let their ego get in the way. We had a whole call on this yesterday, how I lost $100,000 because I let my ego get in the way, and I wouldn't get a coach in my life to help me do a deal that I could have made $200,000 on. You guys should watch that show from yesterday. It'll change your mind a little bit on what you really need to do. So what stops you from making big moves? It's you. It's you. That's what stops you, right? That's what stops you, because you get in this mindset that you're either not ready for it or you can't fulfill. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind right so that you can be ready for those big moves. Here's the thing. A lot of times those big moves aren't what you think they are. It doesn't mean you have to take action right now on that relationship. It means that you have to prepare that relationship, like Matt was saying, for the future value of it so that you can execute on it when you need it. That's what I did in this move that we did for next year for you guys. So that's it. What does it take? Let's talk about this. What does it take to make big moves? It takes commitment. It takes belief. It takes the understanding that guys and ladies that play at that level, they don't care about your issues, man. They don't care about your life concerns. They don't care about your kids' problems. They don't care about your mama and your daddy problems. They don't care if you're claustrophobic. They don't care. They don't care. And a lot of times in life, when we're trying to build relationships, we have this weird problem with us that we feel like we got to tell everybody our problems. No, what does it take? It takes work. It takes focus. It takes commitment. And it takes confidence to say, this is what I'm going to do. No, whether you're with me or you're not with me, this is where I'm going. And I'm going to go there alone, or I'm going to go there with people. This has been my life story. When I started in real estate 16, 17 years ago, Everybody thought I was crazy because they knew me as Zach, the kid that got in trouble all the time, that dropped out of high school, that became a bartender, that, floundered my life away for 7 years. That's what they remembered me as. And now here I'm going to be a real estate investor. They didn't believe me. They didn't trust me. They thought I was crazy. But you know what? I made the commitment that I was going to change who I was, and I was going to put the time, the effort, and the commitment in to put myself in a better place in life. And I was going to do that by making sure I was moving forward at all costs, and I was going to do that by the connections and the relationships I created along the way. So what does it take? It takes you to make commitments. It takes you to be responsible. It takes you to say, look, there's things in my life I got to change today to be able to get to where I want to be tomorrow. Is it going to get frustrating? Of course it is. But you got to dig deeper, man. You got to dig deeper inside of you, because here's the reality. Big moves won't even show up in your life if you're not preparing yourself right now for them. They're not going to happen. You know how many times I see people get excited about real estate? They get going, they get building, they start building, doing deals. And next thing you know, they realize they got a whole business on their hands now. And that business requires time, work, and energy. And they're like, oh, I can't do this. And they get fearful and they get aggravated. And then now they want to make big moves the other way. That's wrong. Listen, you've done exactly what you wanted to do. You're preparing for big moves. Stay in the game. It's going to get hard. It's going to knock you down. It's going to make you have some sleepless nights. It's going to do that. But that's because you're doing what other people won't do. See, other people don't want to face that. Other people don't want to live that life of, oh man, like what if this happens? They don't want that. So they stay in that mediocre lifestyle, because they're not willing to take the sacrifices and the commitments and engage in the work and the confidence they have to build that business, that empire. Listen, no one ever went out and built an empire overnight without stress and anxiety. It just doesn't happen. Okay? Let's just call it what it is. So what does it take? It takes you to have the ability to look deep inside of you and say, I've got this. There's nothing that can stop me from moving forward. I don't care how many nights I only sleep for 2 hours. It's all going to come fruitful for me in the future. You've got to look at it from that approach. You've got to put the time in and the energy in to stay in it and be prepared for the big moves when they come. Because if you don't, the big moves pass you by. Think about it. I mean, I'd like to hear from you guys. How many of you have ever had a big move, an opportunity right in front of you? Somebody trying to give you help. Somebody trying to help you get to the next level, but you just didn't take it, or you didn't see it, or you didn't recognize that it was the big move that you've been waiting on. Until down the road, you say, oh man, I wish I'd have done. I'll give you a prime example. Prime example. One of my business partners, Ian Flanagan, created $1 million company with him. Used to be a student, right? A highly successful investor and realtor and multiple streams of income. The guy's like, he's like my brother, really. I mean, I love the guy. But I was at my event in Dallas. Ian was there on stage with me, teaching and sharing and giving love to the students. And there was another guy in the audience that when I come off the stage, he grabs me and he says, Zach, I was at the same 3-day seminar that when you met Ian Flanagan. And I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, why didn't you take the opportunity that he took? See, Ian was smart enough to take coaching back then, and look at where he is now. This guy passed it up. And he said, you know what? I could be where Ian is right now. And I said, yeah, you could have, but you weren't ready for the big move. You weren't ready for the big opportunity. And I said, but are you ready now? And he said, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, come Sunday, he wasn't ready. And I said, well, man, guess what? This ain't for you. You need to go do something else. Real estate's not for you, man. Because big opportunities only come a few times. And when you're not ready for them, they're gone, man. They're gone. And you got to own that. You got to own that in your life. And you got to dig deeper, and you got to be ready for the big moves. You got to.
So Toby said work, focus, and commitment and confidence. Don said, so awesome, Zach. Thanks. Matthew, he said, preach it.
I am from the South, you know.
Ian said, boom.
Ian's on here.
Ariana said, takes courage.
It does.
Ian said, love you too, Zach.
Oh, Ian, I love you, man.
Vincent says, wow. Stephanie said, very powerful. Vincent said, hey, Ian.
Look at there. Ian's getting some love. I'm telling you guys, I didn't even know Ian was on here. Ian can share the story with you. It takes being ready for big moves. If somebody's on the phone with you trying to get you to help yourself and move forward with even us to say, look, we want to help you for the next 6 months or a year. That's a big move opportunity that you got to be ready to do. You got to be committed to make that jump. You got to be ready to move with that big opportunity. Because if not, you're going to be sitting like that other guy. Years are going to go by and you're going to show up at an event and see the same person that was at the same event you were now sharing the stage with me that I've built a company with. It's reality. It's reality.
Ian said, hey, Vincent, this is the real ish.
This is the real shit. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't want to say that word on live television.
Susan, I love it. So here's another topic. I said I was only going to be on here 30 minutes. I can never stay on here for 30 minutes.
So
hold on. I got 4 topics I got to get through here. The best people that are playing at the highest level. You need to be writing this stuff down, guys. You need to be hanging out with the best people playing at the highest level. They're here. You're looking at one right now. You're on these Facebook Lives every Tuesday and Wednesday. Be here. Be present. Rub elbows with high-level people, because here's why. You're going to get rubbed off on. It's going to come across, right? You're going to pick up ideas and strategies and motivation and development skills and understand that and here's what happens. Listen to me when I say this. Boy, I'm in it today, ain't I? Listen to me when I say this. You start hanging out with powerful people. You start hanging out with influential people. You start hanging out with people of success. When you start going back to your real world and you start seeing the people trying to leech off of you and suck your energy out and complain and whine and moan and try to get you into bad things, you're going to start realizing real quick, this is why I've been stuck for so long. This is the quality of my life. I need to be hanging out over here with people that are living at a higher level, people that are living at a much happier consciousness. The vibration is more effective over here. You need to be able to decipher that. I'm not saying get rid of all your friends and family, but I'm just saying maybe you want to limit your access to them. So what do you want? You need to write that down. What do you want? If you want to play at the biggest level and you want to make big moves, you got to start putting down what you want. What do you want? Don't tell me I want $1 million. $1 million ain't going to do you jack, okay? You need to say, what do I want? I want a better quality of life. I want to be healthier. I want to live life. I want to live to the fullest. I want to have massive energy. I want friends of abundance that are always doing something, traveling. I want to live a free life. I want to live where I get up every morning and I'm excited to go to my work. I want to live in an environment where the energy just feeds off of me that attracts more people to me. What do I want? You see, that's different than money. You see, I didn't say anything about being a millionaire. I didn't say anything about having money in my bank account. I said everything about my lifestyle. That's what you got to pin down. What do you want? You got to dig deeper, guys. That's why we call Wednesdays the Dig Deeper Show. Dig deeper. And here's the other thing. Are you moving towards what you want? Are you moving towards it? You've got to measure your growth. You've got to measure your progression. You need to measure yourself every single day. Listen, I may take this a little bit too far, but I measure my kids on an ongoing basis. Why? Because I want them to understand the value of measuring their efforts. For instance, if any of you have ever read the book Stephen Covey, here it is right here. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Students. Well, as the PTA president at my school, I help raise money to bring into the schools what's called Leader in Me at Horizon, where my kids go. So we raise money for this program. So Stephen Covey wrote a 7 highly effective habits for kids. So what better way to help the youth by getting them into this type of stuff, right? But they're on they're on a color chart system. So I have my kids, we have a big wheel at home, and wherever they spin the wheel, they get a reward, and it's on a pointing system. So if they get green, they get 2 points. If they get yellow, they take a point off, and so forth. And all week long, they're measuring themselves. Did I do good at school? Was I kind to others? Was I giving back? Was I sharpening my saw? That's all in this book. If you've never read this book, you need to read this book. so that they get rewarded for being better people. You need to do the same thing. You need to measure yourself. And are you going towards what you want? And who's helping you get there? Because here's why. If you slow down and start realizing the people that have created influential things in your life, that have helped motivate you or inspired you or someone you look up to, maybe not, and this doesn't have anything to do with money, just as a human being. Think about the people that are influencing you and that are giving you great information. You need to make sure you're attached to those people at all cost. At all cost. Okay? That's what you need to be thinking about.
I want to give a shout out. Allison Carter is on here. She says, absolutely awesome content, Zach. I've been calling her, so Allison, give me a call back.
Allison, call Jill. Hey, are you coachable, Allison? Call Jill.
She was in with AC.
You call Jill, Allison.
Also, we have a question here.
Yes.
Hafiz, he says, how can I buy cash flowing properties with 100% funding?
How can you buy cash flow properties with 100% funding? That's an easy answer, man. You need to do tier 2. That's the easiest day, man. You need to do tier 2. If you're not familiar with tier 2, how do you say his name?
Hafiz.
Hafiz. If you're not familiar with tier 2, Hafiz, it's creative financing. It's controlling properties without getting a bank loan, without putting money down. You're finding properties, and we teach this. We teach this in our 30-day fast track course. We teach this at our live events. My partner Ian Flanagan teaches the whole thing. He has a course called Hidden Cash Flow Fortunes. It's all about this. You should call the office if you need to get information on this. The phone number is 707-247-4248. Call the office. Ask for a student advisor. Tell them you want to know about Ian Flanagan's course. It teaches exactly what you're talking about. It's the art of going out and controlling properties that you can then either sell or you can finance back out again, or you can sublease back out like a sandwich lease option or a subject to with financing on the back end, or a wrap mortgage or a contract for deed or a land installment contract that allows you to control properties that you can make cash flow off of without buying them.
So Vincent says, that is a very deep book. I read the one for adults.
So imagine the one for kids, man. It's amazing that these schools are allowing this to get in there. It's called the Leader in Me program. At our fundraiser, we just raised over $10,000 to put back into the Leader in Me, the Stephen Covey 7 Habits for Highly Successful Children, to get a coach. Listen to this. We raised the money to hire a coach to come into the schools to work with the teachers. Because you think I just talk about, no, I believe in coaching wholeheartedly to the point to where I'm willing to go to the schools and raise money to go get a coach to come to the schools to work with the teachers and the principals to get them taught and educated on how to better influence the children. Guys, I'm telling you, man, I'm all in it, man. I'm all in it. I'm coaching at my church. I'm coaching at the kids' schools. I'm coaching on the baseball park. I'm coaching here. I'm a coach, man. That's what I do. I coach. I'm in a rare mood today.
It's good. It's good. I think you're right on the like-minded people, because sometimes when you ask someone a question that knows more, and you think you know more than that person because you don't really realize, you definitely don't hear the answer and the information that is given. You have a mental mind block.
Yes, I think I understood all that, Jill.
That was a deep one.
I'm trying to keep up with you there. So, hey, but here's the other thing. I want to talk about, you got to get out of your comfort zone. A lot of you have acknowledged that from that video that I played. Hey, listen, if you're just joining me, we're talking about making big moves. I know we're coming to the end of the show, but I know a lot of you jumped on here at the end. You need to be at my next event. I'm going to keep pushing this. We're going to sell this thing out by January. You need to be at my next event. It's a game changer. It's going to be in Los Angeles, California, February 9th through the 11th. You need to get registered for this. There's a link in the description above this, or you can call the office as well. The number's in there, but we're partnering up with the original Shark Tank Kevin Harrington, that's going to be at our event, helping us help you get your business to the next level. How do you make big moves? The guy's done over $400 million in his net worth. He's written the book, How to Put a Shark in Your Tank, which is exactly what I did. And he's also written the book, How to Turn Ideas into $1 million products, called Act Now. He's going to talk to you guys about why investing in today's market is the most powerful move you can make. You got to be out at Los Angeles, California, February 9th through the 11th. Guys, you got to get registered for this. I'm only opening this up for general admission right now. It's a $97 seat deposit. You got to get in it and get in it now while you can. The seat deposit is fully refundable. All you got to do is go for all 3 days, come back home, call the office and say, hey, I went all 3 days. Can I get the $97 back on my credit card? Absolutely. We just got to make sure you were there all 3 days. That's it. It's a deposit. You get it back. I'm not opening up VIP Silvers or VIP Golds yet because I'm going to wait. So if you want one of those, go ahead and get your general admission ticket. Call the office. If you want to upgrade to the Gold or Silver, you need to call the office. Call 707-247-4248. Whoever you speak to as an advisor, tell them you want your general admission ticket, but you want to be upgraded as soon as it comes available. And I'll talk more about that when that time comes. So you got it, guys. So you got to be thinking about what are you doing to get out of your comfort zone? Your comfort zone is your enemy. It's your enemy. The worst thing you can do is get comfortable. That's the worst thing you can do. When you get comfortable, you get complacent. When you get complacent, you don't make big moves, man. You start to say, oh, this feels good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I got everything's where I need it to be. Man, no way. That means you're dying slowly, okay? You need to make big moves. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to start taking advantage of opportunities that present themselves to you on a daily basis. Your success is driven around your ability to act on opportunities that will lead you to big moves. You need to get in the game, guys. Dig deeper, believe in yourself, because if an opportunity arises and you're fearful, you're not going to take it. Because you're going to have a fear of loss. You're going to have a fear of not being able to succeed. You got to drop all those. You got to get comfortable with who you are and what you can do, and you got to believe in you. That's what you got to do. So, what else we got, Jill, before we get out of here?
No one's commented. I think you got them.
Hey, guys, if you enjoyed the show, just type it in. Type it in and say, this was a good one, Zach. Zach, good show. Love the show. Come back for more. Do it again. Type something in. If you were in my room, I could see your expressions, but I can't see it. So, from the things life causes you on a daily basis. Yeah, that's true, Toby. That's very true. Very, very, very true.
So much awesome! It couldn't be awesomer! Do yourself a favor, press it again! That's awesome!
I love that. Do yourself a favor and press it again.
Stephanie said, great show today.
Good, good, good. Way to go, Stephanie. Melody, rocking it out on here. Great show. Way to go, Melody. Showing up on the show today.
Robin says, good one. Toby says, this was an awesome show, Zach. Susan said, great info. Dawn said, this was a really good one.
Thanks, Dawn. Appreciate it. Susan, appreciate you like always. Toby, you know our love for you is strong. You were rocking with me when I only had 5 people following me. And you were one of the 5.
Talon said, Zach, you've done it again. Vincent said, great job, Zach. It has to be one of your best.
Oh, awesome. That's great. I love that. Thanks, Vincent. Thanks, Talon. Great show. You always help. Thanks, Chris. Hey, listen, I just want to keep helping you guys. I just want to keep dropping the bombs, man. Boom. But for some reason today, I don't know, it was just like coming out of me.
It was the atomic bomb.
It was just, I was like a nuclear bomb waiting to blow.
Ariana said, great show.
Awesome, Ariana. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I love it. I love helping you guys. You are my family. You're my Facebook family, my fans, my community. That's what you are. I enjoy you guys. I want to keep bringing value, but you've got to do something for me. I come on here every week helping you guys. You need to help me. Do you know how I want you to help me? Who can tell me how I want you to help me to help you to help me? Who knows the answer to that? Type it out if you know the one thing I always ask from you guys. I don't want anything else but this thing. This is what I need you to do because I need to make ripples.
Can I say it?
I want to see if somebody else gets. There you go, Talon. Share the message, guys. Share it. Get it out to the world. Let's change some other people. I guarantee you got somebody on your Facebook feed that you probably aren't even real friends with, but you're friends with them on Facebook that probably see your feed and go, well, what's this? Click, boom. You just helped somebody 16 states over from you that you don't even know because you were willing and brave enough to share the message. That's what it boils down to. Are you brave enough to share the message? Share it. Get it out there, okay? Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. That's what I'm telling you to do. Share the message. That's how I look and say, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For all those people, I go back and I click the share button. I see all those people that shared. That's the ones that I say thank you to. Thank you for getting the message out there. That's what it all boils down to. So,
Mike
all
said
right.
shared.
Shared. Good job, Mike. Way to go, Mike. Shared the message. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, guys, this is Zack Childress and the lovely Jill. Say bye to everybody, Jill.
Bye-bye. Until Tuesday.
And we will see you same bat time, same bat channel, same bat place next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, 1:30 Eastern time zone. Have a blessed weekend. And remember, keep moving forward and believe in you, man. Believe in you. You can do this. You can do this. I'll see you guys. Zack Childress here.